Okay, yeah, we've already seen this, so... Once again, my screen didn't share, so had to restart the stream. Apparently I'm talking very quietly. So let's try to fix that real quick. And then we can get back to it. So where we left off yesterday, last night, for Pete's sake. Where we left off last night, we had a very simple game where you control a little man, and you can... The flashes of color are their attacks, which, you know, at some point will be animations and so forth. But as it stands right now, I don't have a whole lot going on. So, where's my list? So smoother movements for the player and the enemy. Right now, the enemy is lerping towards the player, so the speed is variable, which is not ideal. And, you know, getting pushed through walls isn't ideal either. So there's a couple things that we can do there. The first thing is the enemy controller. We'll test this stuff with the enemy controller first. So, public... Actually, this can be a private float. Float, additional velocity. So take hit. We don't want to just straight up do a transform translate. We can do an equals. Oh, hi, kitty. In this case, we can do an additional velocity equals basically player facing. Oh, come on, kitty. Make up your mind. And then we can get rid of this transform.translate for the moment. And then we could be like, kitty, come on. New vector 3. Again, this is just temporary. I can't see where I'm typing, kitty. And then add velocity. Minus equals. I just want to get it closer to 0, so if it's negative we need to add, and if it's positive we need to subtract. So it would be, well, we need to have a factor in there, so maybe 0.75, so it'll get shorter. Times layer facing, no. Math. There. So this will make it negative if it's negative, and positive if it's positive. I think that'll work. Is greater than 0.00. This has a host of problems. This isn't going to work. Let's try this. Oops. deleted that. Cut, paste. There we go. Okay, so this should give the player like a knockback. Yeah, spelling it right would probably help too. Look at that. That worked pretty well. So that's one thing. So this allows the basically player knockback. It'll push the enemy backwards, but it'll still continue moving forwards. So that's cool. Okay, so we can actually just do this same thing for the player. And now, instead of doing this transform.translate, I'm going to have to do the same thing I did with the player and put this whole mess in there just to see if they're going to move through a rock or not. So so this should be all we need there, aside from add velocity, and add velocity can just get tossed up here somewhere. Hit. We know that works. Except this is enemy facing, and we don't want the player to get knocked back as much, so we're going to do times 0.75. And that should be all we need there. We'll see. Input. Oh, it's a vector 2, not a vector 3. Come at me, bro. No. No. It also doesn't work going the other direction. Oh, interesting. It only works going one direction. Now, why is that? Because enemy facing should be a 1 or a -1. I think. 1. 1. Okay. So if that equals -1, this should be -0.75. Oh, yeah. Duh. Abs. It's like one of those things is like, okay, I need to do this, and then I totally forgot. Okay. Is that supposed to be less than? No, it shouldn't be less than. Because if it's greater than the tiny number, then it should do the translation. Of course, it's not saying that I saved those, so let's try again. There we go. And then it does not knock me through rocks. Of course, it's always shooting me. It's interesting that it's not always hitting me in the direction that I'm expecting. So that's something. Okay. So it should be updating the enemy facing. These are stupid mistakes I made last night. That should fix that. Yep. Cool. All right. So we've got a little bit smoother shouldn't push objects through rocks. Enemies move. Enemies that charge across screen. Getting hit shouldn't just teleport you. So this one's done. So that one's good. Smoother movement for player. And honestly, it's like a 1-to-1 thing right now, but it's not bad. Oh, that's something I didn't consider. My really janky ass way of doing this. It should be destroying that object on the object itself, not here. So this actually doesn't need to be an enumerator at all. This can just be a normal function, and then inside, well, actually it still needs to be an enumerator just because there's a timer on there for the attacks. But the enumerator needs to be on the actual swing, because then the swing can destroy itself. Yeah, that makes sense. So I'm actually just going to write a to-do for that one. Move the object so it can destroy itself after X frames. So like I said, I honestly kind of like the movement for player right now. The enemy movement, however, is a different story, because the enemy just lerps to the player, and that's not very anything really. It's not consistent, and it's not I don't know why it seems like my volume's super low. And that might just be because I woke up and I'm tired. So that might change over time. So, okay, so I need to figure out a better way of having the enemy move toward the player. And what I did initially was I was just like, if the enemy is to the left of the player, then move to the right. And if enemy is to the right of the player, move to the left. And same with up and down. Which isn't really bad, but it's not exactly... it's not exactly complicated, which it doesn't have to be complicated, so I guess maybe I can stick with that for now. It's just this lerping is not ideal because it doesn't have a consistent speed, and and really the other thing I need to do is the enemy needs to move next to the player, not into the player. So, set enemy facing. So what I'm going to do here is enemy target position equals player object dot transform dot position plus enemy target position. Okay, so if they're facing to the right, that means the enemy is to the right, which means we need to actually move the target a little bit to the left, minus new vector 3. Let's just say 1.2 units and see where that takes us. Plus minus, perfect. Yeah. We're still using a lerp, but this should give us a little bit more. Yeah. No. No. Yeah. So. So now we just need the enemy to stop lerping and just move at a consistent speed toward the player, which, I mean, isn't hard. Okay, so what do I have over here? I have input, which isn't ideal, but but that's fine. So vector 2 equals new vector 2 0 0 because we don't have inputs for this, and then we can input plus equals new vector 2. What? Construct. Oh, I thought I deleted the third one. Duh. Okay, and then we've already defined this, so we don't need this. Now we need to oh, hi Amy. Good morning. I am working on my game. Right now I have lots of boxes that hit other boxes. It's very exciting. Also, my voice is all fucked up because I just woke up. So so we can do this. Input. Let's see, negative, so minus equals new vector to enemy speed, comma 0. And this could be plus equals. Excuse me. Then we can do transform.translate input. This has to be that. This has to be that. And you can get rid of this, and the enemy should move very, very slowly towards the player. Only left and right, though. Or move very slowly away from the player, because that's what makes sense. Because I messed up my pluses and minuses, because that's only the simplest math on the planet. So enemy speed should be a little bit higher now that I'm not lurping. Yeah, I win. Okay. I'm going to make this like 0.07. Make him a little slower. Okay. Next thing I need to do is I need to have the enemy move up or down toward the player, which isn't hard. The thing is, like, if it gets too close, if the enemy gets too close to the player, they're gonna start shaking around like crazy. Yeah. So it's like I need to set a resting state. So it doesn't jiggle around like that. Like I said a lot in the last night's stream, I know there are probably tons and tons of easier ways of doing this, but you know, you gotta learn somehow. So I'm giving myself the hard route, I guess. So enemy target position equals that. So this input calculation should actually be outside of this. So if home.position.x yeah, I hear you. I kind of want to do the same thing. I don't think this is going to work. My brain isn't fully in gear yet. Yeah, so it's just figuring out how to get the enemy to move up to the player, and when it's at the player, don't just like jiggle around. Just try to like stick to them. And like really, I should just get out a piece of paper or something because I can't math in the morning apparently. Right. I thought that. Oh yeah, it's a Boolean. This probably doesn't work at all. Hey, Game Grazers. How you doing? It works actually surprisingly well until it's the enemy is actually inside the player, which, ooh, scandalous. Also, Benji is not an allowed term for my name. Sorry. I've been getting that a lot lately. That's weird. Actually, instead of that, so we can do else. And we'll just flip it, so if it's inside the player, it'll move him to the outside. Should work. I don't want to hit pause. So again, we're getting that jiggle, which is not what I want. And also, they're swinging out of my reach, or out of their reach. So we need to move this to like 0.3. Oh yeah, no worries, man. It was good to see you again. Hope you have a good weekend. Okay, so this should do the trick. Except I need to flip this again because I flipped the other sign. No. That's odd. At least they're getting close enough to hit the player now. Okay, so greater than 2.5, but less than 1.5. I should just... all I want to do is just push the player to... or push the enemy to one side of the player. I should also move that enemy a little closer. No. Okay, so if position.x minus position.y enemy speed, enemy facing right. Maybe I just need to do a minus equals here. But that shouldn't matter because all those are positives and negatives anyway. Like, also, let's move this guy closer. Why are you doing this? Okay, debug.log stuck. Not stuck. Stuck. Okay, so we can confirm that works. Enemy facing right. Always false. Interesting. So what are the calculations for that? Enemy target position.x. So I think what's happening is since I'm generating a target position for the enemy to be at, because that should be like they're supposed to end up like right here in front of the player. So it's creating like this weird what's going on here? Also, is that not lined up properly? Sorry for the hollow mirrors for a second, but this does not seem to be pixel perfect. I know it was. Okay, back to what I was doing. Okay, so the enemy is getting stuck when it's close to, or when it's super close to the player. So it can't, if it's greater than 0.25, do this, and this works perfectly. But if it's less than 1 or 0.15, we need the enemy to move away. But for some reason, it's not, it's just getting stuck in the middle. Facing right, which would mean it's to the left of the player. this is -1 and -1. That's not going to do anything. Why do you do that? So if it's facing right, we want it to go right, and right is positive. So if it's facing right, it needs to be 1 and -1. However, ooh, -11, perfect. This will just make a larger mess, but I'm kind of curious. Yeah. This feels like a dumb thing to get stuck on. Because this is the enemy target position thing as being the problem here. So if we just switch it to this, that might fix the problem, but then it's going to create some weirdness on the edges. This will be a real game someday. The way I'm handling this calculation as well, I don't think that that's the ideal way of doing it. Okay, time to get the paper out. Yep. So, if the player is at 2 and the enemy is at 2.5, that would mean that the X position, I think this math.abs stuff is really where I'm running into problems. And I feel super dumb for not being able to parse this right away, but I guess in partially my defense, I just woke up. So enemy target position. So this would end up as 0.5, and it would run this. Input new vector 2, enemy speed, enemy facing right. Facing right would be false. Yeah. So this would be -1. So this would be pushing the enemy closer at enemy speed. So this would be pushing the enemy at -0.07 or whatever the hell it is. Okay, so if we had 2 and the enemy was at 2.1, that would give us a 0.1 difference. Excuse me. I don't think this will make a difference. Because we're not in negative numbers. Yeah. It's worth a try. Although it shouldn't, yeah, it should be like that anyway. Okay, so if we're at 0.1, that means we're going down to here. And we are input plus equals vector. If the enemy is facing right, if it's 0.1, it should still be false because the X position is larger than the player's position, so that's false. So it would move -1, which would move towards the player. So this should be reversed, but I've already reversed these like a million times. Okay, so it's reversed, so now it's at 2 and 2.2, which would give us 0.2. And that should be pushing us out of the range. But it's not. Oh, okay. So I'm having conflicting. No, this is just for, yeah, that shouldn't cause any problems. Isn't game development fun, people? Now the enemy is getting stuck when it's way far away. What the hell? That's a new one. Oh, is it because of the negatives? I mean, it technically fixed the problem, but it also created a couple new ones. Unless it needs to be something really weird, like maybe just the math gets really... No, see, it's still moving towards the middle. This is a stupid thing to get stuck on. Really stupid thing to get stuck on. So how can I better calculate that if the player is far enough away? player is far enough away, then it'll move forward. But if it's inside the player, the X value anyway, to move out. I mean, I could hard code something else, but it would be basically the same thing as this. This is something that's, I know it's something that's really dumb somewhere in this. Okay, we'll do it this way. If transform.position.x is less than enemy target position.x, if it's less than it, add it. Else, subtract it. Still gets stuck. Why does it get stuck? Because enemy target position shouldn't change. And the weird thing is that if I swap these, if I subtract that and add this, it doesn't matter. Man, what the hell is going on? There's something really dumb somewhere. So if this transform.position.x, which is fine, is less than the enemy position, the target position, debug.draw. I thought there was like a, sure, draw a line. Transform.position.x enemy target position. Where the hell are you going? This is not drawing anything. Yep. It's good. It's interesting. Because it's not creating new log messages when it's in there. Which it should be. Yep. that's the... No. God, what is going on here? I hate getting stuck like this. I have a better idea of what's happening now. But it shouldn't... Because what's happening is I'm creating this target position, which is fine. And what's happening is... I mean, maybe just going like this, but then I won't have it defined. Because it's trying to move to a place where... Yeah, that just makes it bigger. That doesn't really help in the long run. Free indie games. I don't really have much going on right now. The screenshot I have is basically this, where it's going to be a side-scrolling brawler at some point, but I'm having some issues. Oh, that's a new development. It's getting there. Yeah. So hopefully I'll be able to figure out this one little bug, which for enemy movement, and once this is figured out, it'll be a lot easier for me to make things a little bit more dynamic. So I think all I need to do now is just go like this. And flip those around, and it should work. I guess I was relying on the else if too much. Okay, so why is it not moving more? I mean, that's not bad the way it is. It's going to be 2D. It's not going to be 3D. It's just, there isn't a whole lot going on right now. Maybe later today I'll have all these movement issues figured out, and I can work on some basic artwork. I don't know what it's going to be. Probably just basic pixel art stuff. But we'll see. Oops, we'll see. Oh, excuse me. Maybe that's with a ticket? I mean, the problem is that I'm creating two forces that push the enemy around. And this should be... I mean, it's triggering it, but it's not moving the enemy, and I don't know why. Because it should be doing one of these two. but for some reason it's leaving it as 0. And there's no way that it could be equal unless it's just not parsing the float values properly, which I guess is possible. But 7.5. Because if I start creating 2 fields that push the enemy around, eventually it's going to cause the same problem where there's going to be jiggle. Oh, that's actually... That's not bad. That's good enough for now anyway. It's not pretty though. Move enemy in general direction of player. If enemy is below player, or too close to player, remove velocity, movement. Okay, so that's that. The next thing we need to do is bring over this whole mess. I don't really want to. Let's just go like this. Void. Does it go there? No. Where does that go? Oh, it goes here. I have no idea when this is going to be complete or if it's going to be complete. I'll keep that in mind though. Okay, so it needs to be referenced on both sides. There we go. So in theory, this did not break everything. Okay, I can still move the player. So this is very, very poor design on my part, but I'm just gonna copy all this over. Thanks. Good luck with your marketing. This is, okay, I need a collision mask still, don't I? So ideally, what this did... Obstacle. Is now, if we move this over here... Well, that didn't fix anything. I appreciate it. And not to sound cynical, but anybody with the name Free Indie Games, I'm a little skeptical with. And I'm still going to keep it in mind. But, you know. And that's fine. I mean, the Ludum Dare is a great time to get the word out for a lot of different services. Like, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. Just that it's a thing. Oh, right. I should actually call that. Obstacle hit check. There. That should fix it. Nope. And this is the problem with taking code and just slapping it somewhere else so it doesn't always work properly. Nope, doesn't care. Goes right through it. It's actually really nice out. It's raining right now. Which is pleasant. I can actually have the windows open for once, which is a nice change of pace as well. Should I really just dump all this into the... I mean, refactoring all this is probably what I should do, but I really, really don't want to. Okay, let's do this the smart way. And it might take a little bit more time, but I think that it'll also 2D controller. Hey, Ollie. How's it going? Collision mask, hitbox, player health, facing right, velocity. So all this, I'm gonna actually legit like save a backup. because I'm saving a backup because I'm going to be tearing out a bunch of this stuff and putting it in somewhere else. And that is likely to cause more problems than it solves right away. Okay. That's a lot of errors for something I didn't really do. Oh, that's a nice way to start this. Can I not call it 2D controller? Okay, let's just go like this. Still broken. So, okay, you work now. Paste all those in. No. I effed something up. Honestly, let's just deal with the janky way I have it now. At least for now. Fucking Jesus. Okay. So, I'm just gonna deal with it this way. Obstacle hit check. Debug, log, test. Ugh. Test. This is like the annoying part of game development. So, that is working. Draw a line from array source player object. Let's just do transform dot position. So let's see if it's actually raycasting properly. It is not. For a lot of different reasons. Isn't this how it works? Oh my god. This should not be this hard. Okay. That should fix that one at least. Sure. Either way, it should still be, like, those raycasts are still going somewhere. This is the same problem I had last night, which is ridiculous. And you'd think that copying and pasting code from the part that works into the part to the new part, it should just work. But obviously, you know, that's not how this stuff works. So, let's break it down again. We have our input. We see if we're going left or right. I made that one a long time ago, I think. Which one was it? Oh, yeah, that was actually a track I made for... I used to, a long, long time ago, I had audio or song challenges during the Ludum Dare where I would just make a ton of music while I was doing this. I don't use that anymore? Okay, so I don't need that. That song, though, is on my SoundCloud if you wanted to download it. I can't remember where exactly it is, but it's in the... I have a playlist of Ludum Dare, or Ludum Dare, I don't know how the hell you say it. So... Well, I know that's working because... it's drawing lines. It's just for some reason it's not. It's not, the raycasts aren't working. Because I can go debug.drawLine. And this should be that should draw the lines exactly where I need them to go. Except they're offset. And are they offset because of the enemy? They are offset because of the enemy. Ha! Well, that's something, but it doesn't explain why they're being offset like that. Does that fix it? No? Oh my god. It's so disheartening to spend almost an hour and a half on these two stupid little bugs when they should have been taken care of forever ago. So that should get the position of the enemy. Plus the ray source, which is the corner at which the ray emanates. That should be it. But for some reason, this is doubling. I need to save that first. I mean, it works. Kinda. But it works at this huge offset. And if we look at the player controller that I have before, Yeah, it's super, super simple. It doesn't have all this other gobbledygook in there. And I mean, I could just remove objects like obstacles, but I have a feeling that that's kind of an integral part. Center equals vector 3.0. That might remove the offset. Still doesn't friggin' fix it though. So frustrating. What am I doing wrong here? Actually, I like that song. Vector 3.0, bounds, 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 bounds. Hey Hamatsu Games, how you doing? I am dealing with very frustrating, very tiny bugs that for some reason I can't get rid of, and it's really starting to bother me. New vector 2.position.x transform.position.y. It's resource. I am trying to make an enemy collide with objects, and for some reason, there we go, I figured it out. And collide, collide. Okay, so what was happening was when it instantiates the bounds, when it creates the bounds, it actually has a vector 3 for the actual position as well, which makes sense. But that position was being doubled because I was also using the position down here. So I had to create the boundaries and then zero out the position using vector 3.0. And then that zeroes it out, so I'm not doubling it when I do this. It's not an ideal solution, but like none of this is. So if math f dot s transform dot position dot y minus enemy target target position dot y is greater than, let's just say 0. Let's do the same thing. Input plus equals new vector 2. Ah. Again, it's not clean, but, you know, that's not the point. If it is less than, which would mean that it's below, we need to add. So yeah, this should be right. So we just do 0, comma, 0, comma. And now the enemy should follow us wherever we go. The little puppy dog. You can, haha. And we can fix that really easily. So if there is a hit, horizontally, let's just say this is the middle of the map. If Y if transform dot position dot Y is less than, what is it, I give 1.4. Input dot Y minus equals else input dot Y plus equals enemy speed. And let's just half that so it doesn't go kind of crazy. So now, if we have a wall in front of there, the enemy just doesn't do anything. We need to have obstacles. Did I do it backwards again? I probably did it backwards again. So if it is less than 1.4, let's just see if that fixes it. Again, we have the same problem as we did before, where for some reason it's not recognizing this stuff. Hit Brock. Oops. Well, it's definitely doing that. I think part of the problem is that it's like there's two inputs, then they're conflicting and like canceling each other out. And I believe I did this backwards again, like a smarty. Because I want it to move away from the center, not towards the center. Yeah. No, I'm trying to... Well, it's smart enough to... Ha! Not smart enough for that. No! Well, hey, look at that. So we have the same problem vertically. And in this case, if input.x equals 0, input.x equals enemy speed divided by 2. Okay, so now they can't get stuck on the top or bottom either. Oh, come on. I guess they can get stuck on the corners, but... And that's because... there's things at play on both sides again. Really what we can do is do another calculation to move whichever way the enemy or the player is closer. So if... No, and that's going to cause the same problems again. So let's just hard code it for them to move around the outside and then back in. Now, this is still going to cause problems in very certain, yeah, that circumstance.
Ugly truth is that no one can really help you. They can comfort, soothe you, but cannot truly understand.
Times enemy facing right. That's a Boolean because I'm a dummy. 1, -1. No? Right. Need more parentheses. Can never have too many parentheses. There we go. It's not a problem now. Kinda. Hey.
Eventually, life will regain its color.
So they can still, the enemy can still get stuck. If you're exactly on the other side of it, which kind of sucks. But oh man, but that's pretty unlikely, especially if there's a lot of enemies on the screen. The player is not just gonna. Well, I guess the player could corral them into doing something like that. It's actually really easy to get them stuck. You can't get them stuck horizontally because they'll always move away. But I can always just do something like this. Bool sticky Y. So that's not going to work the way I thought. What I was thinking of is basically just sticking to a direction and having them continue in that direction until they're off the rock. I mean, I can have two values for that, but that seems float sticky Y. If sticky Y equals 0, sticky Y equals strict re. Else. 90, perfect. Okay, so what this should do is this should mean that the enemy picks a direction and stays with it. Except not really. It actually leads to the same problem as before. What am I missing here? Oh, okay. Because I have a feeling that if I do it on this side, yeah. So what's happening is that it's pulling all of these ray casts individually, and then one of them is ending up 0, and so the other one. Take care, Hamatsu. Thanks for sticking around. I know it's not as exciting as some of my other streams, but, you know, I figure I might as well keep myself accountable somehow. So I'm making an overly complex solution to a problem that really doesn't need an answer right now. So I'm just going to get rid of all that. I'll just make them always move in a certain direction, and yeah, they'll get stuck sometimes. But yeah, they'll get stuck a lot, actually. I mean, I could create like a waypoint for them where they need to move up and around the box, but I feel that that causes more problems than it solves. Or maybe if I just remove this divided by 2 bit. Oh, why did I just open Ableton? Times 2. Let's go the other direction. Oops, didn't want to do that. It just makes it more rumbly. Oh, hilarious. Okay. I'll leave it like that for now. It's not perfect. No, I'm not going to leave it for now because I need to do this. Hit Stuck y equals true if I need it to be outside. Yeah. No, I need it to be outside of that too. No, it doesn't. If stuck y put x equals enemy speed. God. That's so dumb. Bring it out here and see if I can, if I create it as a global variable, I can pull this right away. And maybe having it pulled on the outside. I'll see you later. I mean, oops. That worked, technically. But bool any hits equals false. What am I doing with this? And again, this puts us back to where we were. No hit count. See, this is such a bad way of doing this. But it's a hacky way around it. Greater than 0 and no hit count is less than 2. Just do this again. This is not ideal, but it should give it an extra frame or two to run away. Shit. Back to where we were. Enemy movement's hard. And now it just runs away again. Guess one of those I needed to keep. Okay, other solutions. What are other solutions here? That's not going to change anything, though. This is going to turn into a hot mess, but it might work. Okay, where did the thing I copied go? If stuck Y will add hey Frederick, how you doing? We'll add a little bit of how am I going to do this? Vector 2.right. No, let's just do new vector 2 0.1 float 0 times enemy facing right. Oh, I'm surviving. Otherwise, vector 2.0. Oh, for Pete's sake. Okay, so this needs to be another. Yeah, this is a huge mess. 1, -1. So what I have in here is I'm trying to angle the the raycasts out a little bit, so the enemy, if it's stuck on the wall, it'll continue pushing itself until it's a little bit outside the wall, and then it'll let go. And really, this should be this. So this probably won't work. Every time this song comes on, I feel like I got a new subscriber. Why does Is it? What is going on? That's kind of hilarious. It's very timid. Yeah, that didn't work at all. Okay, I'm gonna run for probably 5 or 10 minutes, so I will be back in a little bit. So thanks for sticking around, guys. I'll be back in a little bit.
of light, suspended in unyielding darkness.
Okay, guys, I actually have to run to the bathroom right now. My wife was just leaving, so I needed to say goodbye to her and make sure she's doing okay. So I'll be back in a little bit longer. Okay. Well, I'm getting stuck. And that's no fun. Getting just as stuck as the bad guys. It's interesting that just this one thing right here completely breaks everything. And I have a feeling that I should just disregard this for the time being. Yeah, like... hilarious. And just move on to something else, or just leave it as a known issue, and, you know, this isn't supposed to be... It's not going to be a perfect game. Like, that part's fairly obvious. So let's just go with this for now. And we can always try to figure out a solution later. But for the time being, I want to spend like another hour, maybe 2 hours, tinkering with this, and hopefully we can come up with some other stuff. And then we can come back to this later if it's really a genuine issue for me. It looks stupid. Like I can understand that, but yeah. Sorry, I'm still thinking about this. There has to be a simple solution. So if I just don't do anything, if I don't do anything to the x-axis, that works just fine. But the second I try to mess with the y-axis and the x-axis at the same time, that's when things get kind of weird. Okay, I think I got something figured out. So, let's try this one more time. One more time, and then I'll give up for now. Bool stuck y. If stuck y equals true, if stuck y really this could be outside of all of this. So if stuck y this probably won't work either. Because what I was thinking is like you have it tagged as stuck on an object, then you create a reference of that object so you could definitively move past it. But no, whatever. The other thing I can do is I can just have the rocks like near the bottom of the screen, so because I don't think if I go like this and have this down here, I mean, then the enemies will just bloop their way over them anyway. Smoother movement for enemy, sure. Smarter movement for enemy, kinda. Enemy stopped by rocks, yep. Taking a hit shouldn't push objects through rocks. I believe that's true. Yep. So that's taken care of. Enemy moves at a constant pace. Yep, that's done. Enemy that charges across the screen. I don't have that. That's like enemy types. It's a ways off. So the camera should follow the player, or shouldn't follow the player at like a 1-to-1 scale. So the camera should lerp the player, or lerp behind the player a little bit. So main camera, controller equals comment. Oops. Actually, that's exactly what I need. So I need vector3.lerp transform.position, comma, that, comma, time.time times like 0.1 float. Again, not fancy, but it offers a little bit more movement when it comes to that. And I'm actually gonna see if I can go even slower than that, or else it needs to be more than that. I can never remember which way I need to go. Actually, I like that a lot. It's just up and, or it's just left and right. We don't need to worry about up and down. Apparently I need to replace the furnace filter. Thanks, Google. I don't want to see what other people have been making. Oh yeah, see, somebody's doing something similar to me where they're trying to start fire by pushing left and right to like get the sticks together. That's actually a good idea. Well, all right. I mean, as far as production and stuff is concerned, we've gotten pretty far. So there's a couple things we need to do. I don't plan on making this game huge. So So let's go like this. Melee enemy. And duplicate this to be ranged enemy controller. So let's duplicate this guy, make him a ranged enemy, and get rid of this. Move component. Ranged enemy controller. Enemy health 12. Enemy speed, what was this one? Oops. Let's just go like this. So melee 12.07. So let's make him a little bit slower. Collision masks, obstacle, enemy swing hitbox. You don't have one because you're going to throw rocks or something. So enemy projectile. Oh, for fuck's sake. That's cool. Right, because this is why you don't duplicate code. And I think I just changed the wrong one. Yep. God damn it. Enemy controller. Done. Ranged enemy controller. Enemy controller. So remove. Ranged enemy controller. There. So let's see it. 8 hit points. Your speed is 0.05. Your collision mask is obstacles. Enemy swing hitbox is actually enemy projectile hitbox. Or enemy projectile. And then we don't need this because it's going to have its own thing. We don't need any of this. We just need them to throw something like every 1 point. That's like 2.2 seconds. Or really, if we wanted to be fancy, math or random.range 1.5f to, let's just say 3.2f. Okay, so let's make a rock. It's very exciting. Oops. We don't want a mesh collider, we want a box collider 2D. And then we need to create a script called enemy projectile. move it into the right spot before opening. And then we have public float enemy facing right. Yeah, perfect. Oh, man, that rain is so nice. So this is pretty simple. We don't need anything starting. Transform.translate. New vector 3. Projectile speed times enemy facing right 0 0. We'll see what happens. Okay, so this needs to be turned into a game object rock projectile, or prefab rather. And then that needs to get dumped here. And I get rid of that. And then with the ranged enemy controller, I want them to stay very, very far away. So all that's fine. But I want this to be like 2.25. And really the other one should be 2.25 as well. You gonna make more rocks? That rock didn't really go anywhere, did it? Is it making more, or is it just one? Yeah, it's just one. For some reason. And on top of that, this should really be like 6, or let's just say 5. Object reference not set to an instance of an object. Temp enemy projectile, which is this, does not have the controller on it for some reason. That would be why it doesn't work. Okay, so now it's making the projectiles, but now the projectiles aren't moving. I feel like I'm running into the same problem over and over and over. Well, the projectile speed is 0, which would explain why it's not moving. Transform.rotation. let's just say 0 or 1. Oh, how do you do that again? I always forget how you do rotations. Euler angles. Okay, so now we can go to the rock projectile. Set its speed to just like 0.5. It's kind of hilarious that so the rotation is not working how I expected. I thought it would be neat to have them rotate, but I'd have to mess with the transforms. I have to set them to 0. I'd have to have there's a lot of things that I could do to make that work, but honestly, for the time being, don't care. So I need another layer or public layer mask, and then we just do the same thing. So I have this. Better than typing it out. Okay, equals transform.position. Projectile speed, collision mask. Let's just call it the right thing to stay consistent. So if hit, debug.log, hit.transform. Or hit.layer. Can you get the layer name somehow? Unity layer name. I mean, okay. Hit.transform.name. Destroy this dot game object. So, I guess I should set the layer. So, nope, don't want enemies. I want obstacles and players. Okay. So, if kit.transform.name equals player, hit.transform.get component player player controller. Yeah, player controller dot hit take hit. Take damage. Let's just say it's 10 damage. Or projectile damage. Ann Stewart sent you a contact request. I wonder if Ann Stewart is a sexy teen, which seems to be most of the contact requests I get, who are also bots. Because, you know. Float projectile damage. Okay, so now, yeah, whatever. Okay, so projectile damage, that's in here, so I need to set it to make, let's just have it do 12 damage, why not? At some point, I need to set it up so like the player's health is... Okay, so he's gone. So if I take a hit, bam, bam, and I am losing health. So that's being properly handled. Of course, I have a problem now where my shit. So what I should do is I need a generic enemy controller, because what's happening now is I'm looking for this and it doesn't exist. But instead of doing that, I'm just gonna hack around it a little bit. So if o.transform.name.substring start index 0 length melee 5 equals melee, do this. If o.transform.name.substring .0.range 5 sure equals range, oops, hack together, man. Works. Look at that. Sweet. So now we have an enemy that throws rocks at you. So that's another one off the list. I don't know why it's not moving up and down. So, range enemy controller. Oh, right. So this one should be like 0.1 1, because this needs to be very accurate. There you go. So now we got a guy that throws stuff at you, and then a guy... Cool. So let's turn this guy into a ranged enemy, this guy into a melee enemy. So, ranged enemy. And then let's just change his color to a little bit darker. And let's actually change the rock background, switch hitbox, melee. Oh, that's just the default. Okay, so create, whoops, and just go like this. Duplicate. Rock projectile. Now we can set up a little arena. Good luck. Wah. Yay. 12 health left. Nice. Man, so now I guess ideally like the player would get iframes. Which I guess isn't too hard to set up. So the next thing I want to do is I want to create triggers. Just set up. This is my amazing level design right here. So, what we need to do now is we need to set up a trigger to like spawn enemies off the screen. And I don't really know how to do that. So let's find out. Okay. And I mean, the other thing is we need to find a way to like lock the player so they can't travel off the battleground. I don't know. Again, that might just be getting more complicated. So I can close all these. for the time being. So a trigger, I guess, would just be something very simple like a hitbox that you traverse that is invisible. So you got this. You can get rid of this collider. Add the box collider as trigger. No mesh renderer because we don't need that. So remove. I don't even think we need that, do we? Yeah. Wave trigger. So it's kind of backwards, but I think we need the player to trigger it. So it's void on trigger enter 2D collision 2D. I think it's collision. Debug.log triggered LOL. Okay, so I had it backwards. I always get those backwards. It's either collision 2D or collider 2D. I think they'd make that a little bit. Maybe it has to have a mesh still? Okay, so that's triggering it. So, player attack hitbox is trigger. Yeah, I probably shouldn't have gotten rid of the mesh. Okay, so player quad mesh filter. Why do I always have problems with these friggin' filters and triggers? It doesn't have to be rendered, does it? Yeah. Yeah. Eh. What is going on? Seriously. Oh, does that have to have a rigid body? Fuck, and of course it does. 0, 0, 0. I always forget that. Yep, there we go. Okay, so we can get rid of the mesh renderer. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to public int spawn melee right, left, ranged right, ranged left, public game object, melee enemy, public game object, ranged enemy, public void spawn enemies, and then destroy, oops, destroy why is it this dot game object? If o.transform.name.substring, again hacky as hell, but I don't care. Oops. 04 equals wave. Then o.transform.getComponent wave trigger dot spawn wave. Why does this not exist? Namespace. God damn it. I'm really sick of that BS. Okay, what's going on? I don't understand why I always have problems with namespaces. Because it shouldn't be that hard, and it seems like every time I create a new script, it screws it up. Destroy this dot game object. Okay. Spawn enemies, not spawn wave. I like spawn wave better, actually, so I'll just do that. Okay, bye. Okay. So now we can move the wave trigger out to like here. And we have melee enemy. We have melee enemy, ranged enemy, and we want to spawn, let's say, 2 melee enemies from the right. So what I want to do is I want to create some loops. If melee left, no, let's just do this one. If spawn melee right is greater than 0, while I equals, oh my god, far I, oh my god, 4, far I equals 0, I is less than spawn melee right, I plus plus. I am surviving, Amy. How are you? I am unable to fucking type anymore, apparently. What is going on? Jeez. How are you, Amy? What are you up to? Making big things? Our temp game object. Temp game object dot equals instantiate melee enemy from transform dot position plus new vector 3, let's just say 14 comma random dot range, actually I want cake. Random dot range 14 float to 16 float. Let's do 12. Comma random dot range. The danger of doing random range like this is that I'm going to be spawning guys inside of rocks, and that's obviously not okay. But random range, I think it's like, let's just say -2 to 2. And then 0. As game object. Why are you still red? Do I have an extra parentheses? I do not. Oh, I need quaternion dot identity. There you go. So now I should get some baddies when, oh no. Neat. And then I can just do the same thing. Spawn melee left is just as easy. Spawn ranged right is just ranged enemy. And then spawn range left is a combination of those. So now we have the wave trigger here, and we can just do a bunch of dudes. You can do one here, we can do 2 of these guys, and 1 in the back. And now you get proper jumped. Oops. Actually, let's leave it like this so we can actually see them pop in. Pachow! Still some issues in the system. Oh, I died. Ha! Like, for one, we actually need to do the counts proper instead of just spawning 2 of everything. Woo! Woo! I don't like how they stack on top of each other, but... And, you know, how they fly off the level. But... So, if they are hitting a rock, enemy swing, X... Transform position is less. Should be the other way around, I think. There we go. I mean, they all stack on top of each other, which is not ideal. But hey, now we have enemy waves. I can make the player movements a little bit more random, or enemy movements a little bit more random, especially for the melee ones. So let's jump into there real quick. Enemy controller. Let me get rid of that. Fix that too while I'm in here, I guess. Hi, kitty. So I'm trying to think of a way to randomly jiggle the enemies around so they just don't stack on top of each other. I'm thinking about just giving them a little bit of a push up and down once in a while. Like, just away from the player. Oh, there's a cat down there now. Yeah, hi. Yeah, hi. Okay. I'm getting distracted way too easily today. Yeah, I wish that I could just flip. Yeah, I can. Okay. Enemy flocking equals true. I want to give it a chance to go false again. And random dot range between 0 and 1 is greater than 0.25. No, 0.4. Else, if oh my god, kitty. So is a less likely chance for them to start flocking, but once they start flocking, there's a more likely chance that they'll get back together. Or maybe I have that backwards. What is your problem? Yeah, I know. Your mom's at work. Well, that didn't do anything. What? If enemy flocking, else if random dot range negative enemy speed to positive enemy speed plus. That way, it always has a chance to happen. Yeah, that would do it. Except, still doesn't really do it. I died. Ha! Oh, I can't hit him through the walls. Okay, so enemy attack. Hitbox persists after death. What is your deal? Go to sleep. Go to sleep. You sleep all day anyway. Hey, Direct. How's it going? So this should be working, but it's not. Where's that wave trigger? Let's make this a little bit easier on my brain. Well, now they all grouped up. That's good to hear. Am I doing this wrong? I think I'm doing this wrong. It's just not triggering, huh? Well, that would explain why it doesn't work. Yeah, okay. I have to make sure that it's false before I make... Yeah, it's a really quality looking game so far. There we go. Now they jiggle around a little bit. It's not exactly what I want, but... They're supposed to go around that, and now they're not. So this whole thing messed that up, I guess. I don't know why that would mess it up. If transformed to position is less than or equal to, that shouldn't matter.
In the year 2005.
The year 2005. The Ludum Dare theme is ancient technology, and the goal of this game is you're a caveman and you have to fight monsters to get to a cave. Okay, I can't talk over myself. You get to a cave and then you find this big crystal and you bring it back to your Why does it stop them there? You basically invent fire. You bring the crystal back to your village, and it focuses the light on something and starts fires. It's dumb. I don't know what I'm doing, but it's a reason to do this, and I've been meaning to do this forever. So I can't complain, and I've squished a bunch of really annoying bugs, and this enemy movement stuff is just really starting to... It's not going right. All this shouldn't matter. for why the enemies are getting stuck on the wall. But they're getting stuck on the wall. Debug.log. Stuck on wall. Yeah, this stream is not terribly exciting. I'm very flattered that anyone feels the necessity to hang out and watch. And what this should be doing is this should be pushing the enemy around the rock. Maybe I once again did it backwards. Oh. Really, Ben? Where's the ranged enemy controller? How the hell did that get swapped? Should work now. Or no, it doesn't work. They just... Yeah, that's kind of what's happening. There's hit detection, and when it hits the rock, it's supposed to go either up or down, depending on the enemy's position vertically. And I feel like I'm just doing the same stupid thing over and over. I've been having problems with this, and now I'm tinkering with ranged enemies, so that's not even going to affect these guys. Yeah. Ranged enemy controller. What do I do over here? Minus and plus. So let's do minus and plus. And that should fix the problem. There. Yay. They still group up, but I guess that's kind of the point. I mean, I could add states to the enemy to where if they're in like the passive state, they just wander around, and if they're in an active state, they pursue the player. But really, that's a lot of work. And this flocking idea is good, but it just makes the enemies jiggly. It doesn't really. I have a feeling that once there's like actually sprites and stuff, it'll make it a little bit easier to understand. But now it's just like they just go right to the player, which is not cool. But hey, you can't make a brawler, and once again they got busted here. I don't understand. No, it should be positive and negative. Because I'm not setting that. I'm setting the input. Yeah. I don't know why it didn't work before. Yeah, that's just a simple lerp. It's actually probably a little too slow. I like it, though. I'm going to bring this up, make it a little bit faster. Yay. So the other thing I can do is with the enemy controller, I can actually make their attacks slightly randomized so it's not as easy to... So I can go random.range 0.7... Oh, that's too fast of an attack. 0.9 to like 1.2. That way, when they attack, it's staggered. They're not that smart. Okay, so I'm trying to think of what I need to do now. I mean, the enemies still are kind of dumb. And maybe what I want to do... Maybe what I want to do is set something up to where they go to a random position near the player. So enemy target position. Okay. There should be... It's a magnitude thing. So let's try this. Bool. No, it doesn't even have to be a bool. Find new target. So I'm just going to put it here for the moment. Void find new target. So if random.range 0 to 1. So most of the time, let's just say 50% of the time. So 50% of the time, it's going to set the enemy target to here. The other 50% of the time, it's going to enemy target position equals new vector 3 player object dot transform dot position dot x plus random dot range, let's just say -7 to 7. And then just do the same thing for Y. And 0. So I don't think this is going to work. But hey, you never know. I just don't want them just clumping up into a big ball because that's dumb and boring. There's some squirrels going nuts out there somewhere. Okay, so if transform.position.x is less than enemy target dot position or transform form dot position dot x so I have to recalculate that every time, else enemy target position dot x, not all this other stuff. If vector 3 dot magnitude transform dot position enemy target position is less than, let's just say 0.25, find a new target. There are 2 targets. Okay, what am I doing wrong here? I haven't used magnitude very much. Transform dot position. Oh, okay, so it's saying it doesn't take 2 arg. Unity distance between 2 points. Vector 3 dot distance. Magnitude something else. Well, I guess it kind of works. Except now they just travel off the world. So interesting that they just get stuck. But hey, it's something. They really want to go up there, but they can't. So let's just make this more narrow. I mean, I like this because it lets them swarm, which is kind of the point that I wanted, but... Oh. Thank you so much for the host. I really appreciate that. JRS Swab. The other problem that I have is, I guess if you have a ton of them just wandering around randomly, sometimes going after the player, maybe that's all you need. Like, it's definitely friggin' terrifying. Except when you get stuck in a rock. So, what I'm gonna do is I want to figure out why that's happening. So, debug.drawLine, transform.position. Oh. Enemy target position, color red. Ugh. This way, I'll see where they're trying to go. And when they get stuck, I'll be able to figure it out. Of course, now they're not going to get stuck. I actually kind of like that. It makes it very random, but they still generally come after you. Oh, you got stuck. Yeah, so the issue is when the target is inside a rock. Okay, so let's take a brief break from that and just see like what happens if you have two ranged guys, because the ranged guys are always going to be on you. That's sufficiently difficult. Ah! Ah! I died. And again with the ranged guys, I feel that let's just create a private float. Float comfort zone. So they should try to get zone equals random dot range 3 to 5.5. And even with these guys, I can do the same thing and give them a chance to like move up and down. But in this case, it's a little different. Because we're just worried about the y-axis. Don't really care about anything else. Look at all those errors that popped up. Range. Let's just go negative 1.5 to 1.5. Oops. Oh my god, I can't type anymore. I'm doing a lot of random ranges because really, I guess that's just what I feel like should happen here. It's the poor man's AI. No, they're still clumping up, so I don't think I did that right. Yeah, you got stuck. Debug.log random y. Except this should be x. That was my problem. It's getting there. I actually really like that AI. It's simple, but still annoying. So we need the X. No, we do need the Y. What are we talking about here? So where do I change the X? Okay. Excuse me. So this is where the Y is. And it's going off of enemy target position. Let's just use the enemies, the ranged guys for now. So I like that they have like a comfort zone where they can get close. But I don't like that they just clump up. And it should be working. Enemy target position, random range. Let's make sure that it's actually being truly randomized. It definitely seems to be. That does not seem to be stopping anything, though. So that doesn't change the Y. A player object. Okay, that's what's happening. I have to do the same thing I did here. Zoop, boop. Yeah, it is, and that's just the hitbox. That's gonna change into some kind of sprite at some point, probably. But right now, it's just the enemy hitbox, enemy target position. So I think this completely bungs it up. Okay, so we're gonna bring that up. Because we want this to happen pretty rarely, honestly, because this is gonna happen a lot less frequently. So let's look at the range here. So it should be one, or it should be like -3 to 1. -3 to 1. Okay. They're still stuck up there. Player object dot transform dot position dot y. They should at some point randomly move. But they don't. Again, I have that same stupid problem. Oh, right, they don't re-target because where is that code? It's not exactly the same for this because I'm just polling the left and or the up and the down. So if math.a abs. Mathf.abs. Dot y minus dot y is less than probably 0.05 because this goes pretty slow. Find new target. Okay. Come on, find a new target. I believe in you. Yeah, they're kind of jiggling around. They're actually surprisingly hard to avoid. Cool. Okay, so I've been at this for 3.5 hours. I'm going to take a little bit of a break, probably get some lunch, probably go see my wife. She needs some food, so I'm going to probably go to like Bruegger's or something, get her a bagel. And yeah, I think I'm going to continue with this. I believe like I have most of the mechanics that I want done. Excuse me. So it's mostly going to be creating some assets and like figuring that whole mess out. I think. I'm trying to think of anything else that I want to do, because now when I have a wave trigger, so let's say I have 3 melee guys and then like 1 from the left, 1 from the right, like this. So now I have this wave trigger. Let's actually play it full screen. Yeah, I mean, guys still get stuck. So, I mean, that actually works really well. It's just figuring out how to handle them getting stuck in walls, or their target getting stuck in a wall. And yeah. I guess one thing I can do with that is so enemy position. Yeah, let's see. Yeah. So I think for the time being, I'm going to be done. I really like the progress that I've made. What I need to do now is I need to probably start doing a little bit of like pixel art on these blobs and making things look a little bit better. Or alternatively, what I can do is I can like finish this. Because ideally, what the game is basically going from here to here, and then from here back to here, which means that there's going to have to be 2 sets of wave triggers, which is fine. And then, okay, so what I should be doing here, create level in entirety. Set wave triggers and test for balance. Display player health somehow. Create health pickups. Create rock sprite, create player sprite, create enemy sprite, create ranged enemy sprite, create background artwork. Yeah, it basically this whole level is going to be like the whole game's going to be one level. I'm trying to keep the actual like game part straightforward because otherwise I'm going to just drive myself crazy. Because there's still a lot of work left to do. I mean, create sound effects, create music, which, you know, one song, but still. Got rid of that. Bugs. Enemy melee can get stuck in rocks. All enemies can get stuck. Actually, no, that doesn't really happen anymore because I changed their movement to somewhat random. Okay, so this is what I'm going to work on later today, I think. So for now, I'm going to end the stream, and I will start it up probably in an hour and a half or so, and we'll see where we go from there. So thanks, guys, for watching, and I'll see you next time. Take care.